new album's coming out in a few weeks. What can you tell us about it?
Well, it kind of it was recorded in a couple different locations, but we wanted to kind of like the second record we recorded in Atlanta was away from home, and we kind of wanted to bring it back to kind of where we started. So we wanted to record it in New York. So a lot of the writing and recording took place actually in Manhattan, but we also decided to kind of get away from Manhattan for a while too. We went upstate New York, up to Woodstock, and there was just like an old converted church I guess it had been a studio that was used throughout like the 80s and 90s, and then for about a decade it closed down. I guess the owner just decided to close it. And they reopened it about a year ago, and we decided we got to check it out, and it was great. It was in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it was literally, we had no option but to just work.
Wow. Now, while you were up there, did you pick up any vibes from the Woodstock area, being so rich in musical history?
It still kind of has a little bit of that. I mean, as a kid growing up in Manhattan, I used to go there pretty frequently, actually. We'd go upstate, I guess, with my family, and you know what? I went to Woodstock '94.
Okay.
But like, it used to have more of that vibe. It's lost a little bit of that, but I mean, it's still like it's pretty much in the middle of nowhere. It's very secluded, and you're in the woods. You're in the woods. So at night, if we were in the city, maybe we'd go out to the bar when we were finished. But there, we'd work until 3 or 4 in the morning, and start at 11 the next day. And that was the vibe for about a month or so. But I think the record, it kind of, I mean, maybe if anything, it's kind of going back a little bit more to the first record, maybe. Maybe a little more up tempo, a little more raw. But still, still has that quality that I guess we associate with ourselves, which is just like it's always, very song based.
Right. That's exactly what I was just about to touch on next, because the first record was very raw.
You heard some of the songs. I mean,
oh, yeah.
How good of a sense you could get from the new stuff. But I'm really excited about it. I think, you know what? I think like the second record, it took a while to really figure out how to make the songs work live, the second record. Whereas this one, it just kind of works. The songs, the minute we started playing them live, people just understood what they were. They got it.
Right. You pretty much just touched on what I was about to bring up, because the first record was you sounded like a New York band, especially from the Lower East Side, Brooklyn area, very raw, very dirty, but also very synthy, And the second record, Sun and the Moon, was much more polished.
It was more polished. It was definitely more polished. I mean, we went with Brendan O'Brien. We didn't use a producer on the first one.
Okay.
Went with Brendan on the second one, just to try it out, and I love this. I love a lot of the stuff on the second record. I'm very happy with it, but it was definitely more polished, and it was unlike the first, which is why we always had the intention of doing the Sun and the Moon, the double CD, so that people would also get, that other more kind of raw synthy vibe, which is why we ended up putting out the Moon version.
Right. Again, you keep you're going on exactly what I wanted to say, which is perfect. Because the new record now, just to touch back on it, since it is sounding, it fits in so well with the first original stuff. Why did you guys decide to make the change back instead of, not that I'm saying it's a digression or anything, but instead of pushing forward and trying something else, you decided to jump back to that dirty European electro synth rock vibe?
I think that's just where our heads were at. It's usually not as conscious as, it's time to go back to the first record sound. It was more like the atmosphere has more of a, just for us, or just like whatever environment we're in, has a more raw environment. Maybe it's where we're hanging out. Maybe it's the people that we're with or whatever. But usually it's kind of environment induced. And, this is just kind of, we wanted something more up tempo. And that could even mean that, maybe we're in a slower environment, for the time off, and we just want to kind of speed things up, and we can do that in the studio with the music. It definitely is more, it's more up tempo. There's some full on punks, just like the first record, some full on punk songs. You got a Swollen Summer type song with Hate Fuck, and
which is my favorite song ever that you guys have ever done.
That's funny. A lot of people are saying that. I'm glad you say that. I think it's definitely one of our best too.
Now, speaking of the single, for Hate Fuck. Mike had directed the video. Who came up with the crazy concept for this?
That's all him.
That's all.
He is the crazy.
Wow, he's a crazy son of a bitch. He really is.
People seem, you know what? People say it's very polarizing. The video, you know, some people are too disturbed by it.
Right. I had to post it on my site.
I don't get it. I don't get that. I think the video is like exactly what videos should be. Like videos, like, you know, we've done like performance videos, but to me, when it comes down to it, videos they should push boundaries, you know. And that video, I haven't seen a video like that. I don't know, in a long time ever.
Yeah.
You know, nothing like since like the days of like the, you know, avant-garde filmmakers like Kenneth Anger or whoever.
It's true, and because the thing is, it has his personality all over it as a director. Because, you know, knowing Mike and, you know, in the history of the band, he's jumped on nude a few times on stage. You know, he's been busted for some of his antics, playing the court of public opinion, if you will. So it was so fun.
He's actually in the middle of making a video similar to that one for every song on the record.
Oh, wow.
So I've already seen some of them, and they're great. I'd say some of them are even better. I mean, they're and you know, I love the Hate Fuck video, but he's in the process of cutting videos for all of them. You know, one of the things we did while we were in the studio in Woodstock is he would just film everything. So he's got tons of footage of just stuff that he's cutting up of us and of just, you know, oddities, I guess.
Cool.
Yeah,
now,
so I guess we'll release that as the record gets close to be released.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that because if stuff's crazier than what you've just put out, this is going to be awesome.
There are some crazier videos.
Very
cool. I'm glad
cool.
you like it.
Oh yeah, I love it. Now, speaking of which, because I heard the song before I saw you guys at Terminal 5. I believe the video was released that week, so I was familiar with the song. It's a total jam. When you guys had introduced the single at the venue, and I'm sure you have been doing on the road, are you ever nervous about how the crowd's going to respond to the new material, whether it was putting stuff from Sun on the Moon out when you were touring, right before that record was released, and touring in support of that, and now in support of Stir the Blood? Are you ever nervous because no one can sing the lyrics and you're not sure? Are you very nervous to be playing that stuff?
No, I'd say no. One because you know we at this point, you know, because we're doing this tour pretty far in advance of the record, we are getting like our fan base who's really kind of really wants to hear it. I know as a music fan, like when I go see a band, like I'm dying to hear new stuff.
Hell yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't care what it is, as long as it's a new song by a band I like. So I think that's one of the things too, as playing the music. I just look forward to looking at the set list and seeing like when the new songs, you know, going to come up. So for us, it's exciting. So, you know, in a selfish way, it's just fun for us to play new stuff. You know, so I don't even think like, are they enjoying it? Because I'm just thinking like, oh, this is fun for me.
Right.
You know.
Very cool. And yeah, it looks like you guys are having a ton of fun.
I see the reactions. First of all, I see the reactions, and the reactions are really good. Second of all, a lot of these, I mean, I don't do it, but a lot of these people, a lot of these fans, they go on YouTube and they find previous, you know, shows from like the week before. A lot of these people know these songs already. In their live form, they know the songs. So many people know the lyrics better than I do. These new songs.